Welcome to Watch Play Chill. I am your host along with Vissaw, and my name's Andrew. And we are just over the moon because we released a Cuphead video on my channel, and it's actually doing the best as far as growth than any other video ever. So that's what we're going to talk about today because it's absolutely insane. And even if it wasn't doing well on the channel, like we'd still be talking about it because I absolutely love this game. It could have failed and we'd still talk about it. Obviously, a lot of people out there like it too. So obviously, if people have seen my video, they know I love it. What are your first impressions on it?
I love it too.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I expected from it. Since I did the video before, it was kind of easy for me, the game, because I knew the attacks. So once I play it, it was kind of just like getting the right time where you put everything together, where everything comes together. That's pretty much how you beat the bosses, right?
Gotcha.
But I love it.
I think my weakness was I just hadn't played Cuphead in a long time, so like I was embarrassed how much I was losing at the beginning, but then like when I started doing expert mode, it was like pretty dang easy. Like
Yeah, and you play like as a different character, so you have like you change a little of the buttons, right? Because the parry is different when you play
with
with her.
Chalice.
Yeah, so like I play a little before I play like one of the bosses, I think, before I start editing the
Uh,
video. So I was doing like having the hard time of figuring out how to play with her. And then, I added the video, came back to the game, it's like, oh, that's obvious. And then it just like breezed through uh, a lot of the stages. Also because of the OP weapon. I think the OP weapon where you could just like keep your finger and just care about dodging makes the game so
oh
much
yeah,
easier.
dude, it's so true. That's actually I think Chalice is a good starting point. So in case anyone does not wants to watch on YouTube or a different service, you can listen on YouTube or most other podcast services. Links are in the descriptions if you need those. If you ever want to suggest a main topic, leave a YouTube comment and we may just talk about it on our next show. But yeah, Chalice. Let's talk first about Chalice. I think we'll talk about her, then kind of go through the game. Um, yeah, Chalice. I think that was the reason I was dying a lot at first. Was I'd be pressing like jump again in the air, even though I hadn't played the game in forever. Like my muscle memory was just I don't even know if it was muscle memory. Like you just know in Cuphead you press jump again to parry,
Yeah.
while with Chalice you dash. I do think after playing though, I think like the developers say she's equal, but I think she's easier. I think she does make the game a little easier,
Yeah.
but in a totally fun way. And I feel like I'm playing a different game because I played the bosses again with Cuphead or Mugman, and like obviously the bosses are the same, but the experience is definitely different. So that's a cool add-on from the DLC for sure.
I think for me like the gun really changed a lot because I was trying to beat the first boss, the mob boss, without the OP gun, like just using the guns I had before of the game, and I was having a hard time. Oh, look, who's there? For people listening, they don't know what's going on, but
We got my child on the screen. Yeah.
yeah. And but for with the new weapon, it's so easy. It's so easy.
Yeah, that crack shot to me is it's like a better chaser is what
Yeah.
I believe the old one's called. Like it's technically not as accurate, but you're right. Like you don't even have to focus on like the boss. You just
Yeah.
gotta focus on
What the
dodging.
one of the I think we're gonna talk like every boss, but one of the almost the last boss I played before the end boss was the oh my god, what's the first boss? Because I play in Portuguese
The
as well too.
Glumstone Giant.
Yeah, that one. I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to play with the weapon, the red one that does a lot of damage, but you need to be close to it.
All right.
Yeah, I was trying to like go with that one because he's kind of like close to you, and I was getting like a hard time with it. I was getting to the second stage, I was dying to things and stuff like that. I changed to that's not the chaser. What's the name in English of the name of the OP gun?
The crack shot.
The crack shot. Okay, so I changed
Yeah.
to the crack shot, and I think I won in the second attempt because it was
Oh,
just a matter
really?
of dodging stuff, and then it was like super easy because it's too fast. I feel like with the chaser, that's at least what I remember. You had the same idea of just dodging, but it wasn't fast. You had to dodge a
Right.
lot.
It took you felt like it took a lot. Like
Yeah,
I could feel the time difference with the chaser for
yeah.
sure.
And for this one, I don't feel the time difference. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm pretty much
I
beating at the
agree.
same time, and I just don't need to focus on it. So
Yeah, let's talk about the weapons, and then I think we should talk about the bosses. I think that'd be a pretty good order. So yeah, we talked about the crack shot. I think that's pretty universal. I don't think that's like an unpopular opinion. The next one's the converge. I'm not that big of a fan of it. That's the one with the lightnings
yeah,
where it goes in three directions. But then like if you lock on and focus, then it kind of gets closer. I mean, there's uses for them, but honestly, I'm not. I just would rather have. There are scenarios for. I think for the Glumstone Giant, like you were talking about, that's the most useful. Like during that
that's
puppet
true.
scene, for me at least. But I think I can't remember what it's called. I forget what all the weapons are called, but the
Yeah,
one where that shoots the three red ones and it's like close, like
yeah,
that's still one of my favorite ones to do.
yeah.
From
I,
the
I
base
have an
game,
excuse because I say like, oh, what's the name in English? But because I play in
but I don't.
Portuguese, right? But I don't know the
Mhm.
names in Portuguese too. So
Oh, it's called the spread shot.
I'm
Yeah.
just using this
That.
excuse to be like, I don't know the name. But yeah, I haven't used that weapon honestly because I
Mhm.
just used the best one to beat all the bosses because I didn't have a lot of time, and then I knew like I wanted to beat all the bosses for for us to talk about our experience.
Right.
And but I don't feel like you need to lock on. You need to be like kind of standing still. I don't think Cuphead is a game where you have a lot of chances to do that. You're always moving to dodge stuff, so
That's true.
I don't feel like that
Yeah.
weapon is maybe in
I
some
think
old.
maybe on some base game
Yeah,
bosses, it'd probably
yeah,
be more. But these DLC, I feel like are. I think some of the main game bosses are harder, but they're not like easy either. I'd say like there's 3 islands in the original Cuphead game. I'd say like these bosses difficulty are like 2.5, like in between island 3 and 2 difficulty. But
yeah,
yeah, no, I
sure.
agree with you. The next one is Twist Up Potion. I actually use this one less. I just hate. I don't know. I think didn't it say it's weaker and it curves up? I'm like, I'll just freaking curve my shot up. I don't need this thing. It's like the cloud looking thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that's the least favorite weapon I've gotten. Once again, there's probably more use for it in the base game.
true. Yeah, because it's also like it's a game. It took me a while to change weapons again when I started playing because I was messing
Oh
up.
yeah,
Like I wanted to change the weapon and I was using the special or was dashing. Want to use the special and I was dashing. I was like still messing up because it's been a while. So so I tried to not change the weapon until I learned like all the other buttons without having to think about it. And then I started changing weapons. But most of the time, you can beat a boss with just one weapon. So I feel like these weapons are more like secondary. You're not want to beat the
yeah,
boss with just these weapons, but you can bring them for certain parts of the stage. So,
right,
but I haven't tried any.
yeah,
I just tried to just use the best one and went with it.
right. So those are all the shots, and then the charms. There's the Astral Cookie that turns you into Miss Chalice. We've talked about her a little. I guess the things we forgot to mention are we talked about how she parries, but she has a roll dodge and the double jump. Just a super fun character.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's yeah. I just feel like it's like you're playing Smash Bros. Classic, but you're just playing with a different character. So,
The roll dodge
anyways,
was
the
pretty
oh go
useful.
ahead.
Was pretty useful
Oh yeah, yeah,
in the first, like in the mob boss, because that's the first one I did. That's why I'm saying first one. In that part where the ladies just like there's like the lasers coming from the
right. She's
this
got the
player.
record player with
Yeah,
the lasers coming out.
that's pretty much like you just need to dodge there. It's just like super easy
Right.
with her. But apart from that, I don't know if I used that much because every time I was trying to use, I was dodging to something else. I was like, dodging from something and then doing something else. And there's one part of your video where you against the giant where you say like I die in stupid ways. And then you row to one of the part where he have the puppets. You just
Oh right,
row to
yeah.
it. And I did the same. And I was like, oh my god, like I watched the video, like what I'm
I
doing
watched
the
it.
same. Because like I
Yeah,
was
I
trying
actually had a
to.
lot of use for the role myself, so I'm surprised you didn't. But I feel like Chalice was like made for these bosses, though,
Yeah.
and I think that's how they designed the game because they knew most people would play as Chalice. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
the funny thing. I wasn't excited to play as her because I'm all like I'm one people like one of the old ones who like I just want the first one, you know. I don't want new
huh.
stuff. I don't want new characters. I just want the old one I have. And so I was kind of like I'm just gonna play with Cuphead and whatever. But once I saw like how she was playing and stuff, I'm like, oh, let's give it a try. And I really enjoy it after getting used to it. I think it was super fun.
Yeah, I actually like her design probably better than Cuphead and Mugman, to be honest. I think she's
That's
just got
true.
so much personality. But again, Cuphead and Mugman are pretty dang good design too. So
Yeah. And
I just feel
she's
like she already had
fun.
a high bar and she
Yeah.
leaped over it.
And
So
she's fun in the show. I think you never watch it, right?
oh, I did watch it. Yeah,
Yeah, you watch it. Yeah.
yeah,
I
we're
think
getting more
she's.
episodes this year, which is
Yeah,
kind
yeah, I
of
saw that.
the only
I'm
thing I don't like
excited
about
for
that
it.
show is I wonder if that's what made the DLC take longer to come out because they were busy with that show.
I don't think that's probably like I don't know. It's probably like different people, right?
I'm like,
And
stop working. Well, right, but like they have to approve everything. Like it's their product. I don't know. I bet
it's,
they're
it's true.
like I like the show. It's just I just wanted the DLC. I just want.
I really like the show too. I think it's a good balance between it looks like an old kid show, like the shows we used to watch as kids, and have like some jokes where the adults will get it and the kids won't get it without being like
Right,
a plus 18 joke. So
right.
so it's like and it's I think it's pretty fun. I think it was a pretty good balance. But
Yeah.
anyway, we're talking about the
So
game.
yeah, the next relic was the broken one, but then you get turned into curse relic, which turns into the divine relic.
Yeah.
Also, that's another one. We were talking before the video how I've gotten some really dumb comments from the Cuphead video by people not watching. And a lot of people are like, "You didn't really 100% it because you didn't get the divine relic." I'm like, "Wow, you are an idiot!" Like, in order to get one of the divine relics, you have to do the achievement, and I got all the achievements, you idiot. But anyways,
I haven't
I didn't
played
tell that
that
to their
yet.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really. It's whatever. Like it's definitely a very good. Like I just don't like my weapon changing all the time. So your weapon changes, but like you get all the charms like attached. Like you get the whetstone, you get like coffee. Not all the charms, but like a lot of them. You get the smoke bomb dash. Your power points to make your super happen. Like always go up. I don't know. It's just not like how I play Cuphead. I feel like it just just not my play style. But
Yeah.
it's just a nice little here's a busted charm if you want one kind of thing. The other charm is the Heart's Ring, which I think this one's pretty cool, where you restore 1 HP when you parry your first time, your third time, and your sixth time. I thought that was really cool, especially during when you had to use the curse relic to not make it cursed anymore. It just kind of put like a little fun RNG to like hopefully that was like the charm you had equipped before like
Yeah.
it randomly selected your next one. So that was cool. So that's all the charms. Did you have anything to say about those?
No, I was just using colic, so I didn't have like anything. I didn't test the charms. I don't remember the old ones, so I haven't had the time to test like everything. Sadly, but it is what it is. I
Right,
focus on
right.
the bosses more, so I guess I have like more to talk about the bosses than the other
Yeah, no, the
ones.
bosses are definitely the reason you get this DLC for sure. Let me see. Let's go. All right, so yeah, let's talk about. I was just thinking if I wanted to talk about the story, but the story is just kind of what you need it to be. I don't think there's a whole lot there. I
Yeah,
mean, if you're listening to this, you know the story. Like, let's be honest. So yeah, Glumstone Giant. He's like listed as the first boss, But I definitely think the Moonshine Mob is easier. Glumsome Giant's got a like he's okay. So he's got 3 phases. I actually think the first phase is well. I don't know. All of his phases are pretty equal in difficulty, but the first phase has a lot of annoying perks because like there's the gnomes that poke out of the ground, and even though they point their hats, like they don't. I think I have this like mental problem playing this level when it doesn't look like those hats should hurt you, but they do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Uh, yeah, I don't even know how to talk about this level. It's.
I did well
What do
with
you
the
have to say about
first. Yeah, I did well with the first part because I was using the other gun,
the
the gun that
crack
does
shot?
to do a lot of damage first in this first part. The red one, and then when you use the special, you attack in every direction. So I was using the
Oh, right,
special a
right.
lot, and I was just killing gnomes. So I was just like standing
So
the
the
first
spread.
one. Yeah, I was just standing the first one pretty much the whole part. And then once I saw like a gnome going up, I was just use that, we'll kill the gnome, and then just continue with it. So I didn't have a hard time with it. The second part I had, it don't look like that hard, but I was getting
That's
hit.
true. It doesn't look hard.
Yeah, but I was getting hit by the stupid thing. I was just doing like stupid stuff, and it was the last one I tried before the ending boss. So I feel like I was just trying to go through it, like to try my best to just do super quick. So I think that was the problem too, because I was just like trying to brute force the boss instead of just like trying to think what I should do and dodge. And then the last part was just okay. I think the last part was actually like easy. You
I
know.
think the last part's actually my. I think I got my thoughts now. So like
Okay.
this guy, like he's fine, but I don't think he's like there's hard bosses, and Cuphead does this good with all of them. For the most part, Cuphead like they're fun enough where like you're okay like dying a bunch, but then there are some that like the design really like just makes me smile, and I don't think this guy does it for me. You're right. Like the second part is like one hard thing about the second part is if you camp in the corners, like you won't get hit by the ball, but then like the gnome audience is blocking your way, so you can't see
Yes.
the gnomes coming out of the ground. That
Yeah.
happened a lot to me. And then yeah, the last part, I actually probably think the last part's my favorite, even though it probably is the easiest, like you said. I think when you first get there, it's not because like, and this is true with every Cuphead boss. You don't know what's going on. You're like,
Yeah.
why are they like disappearing? Why do they come back up sometimes? But then you learn when a bone. Wait, is it a bone? No, it's a chicken. When they throw chicken at it, is that what it is? The chicken. Yeah. So when they get
Yeah.
the drumstick thrown at it, they go in. But when they get a bone, then they shoot their pink tongue up, and then you parry it, and then all of them come up. But I think that's kind of fun because it's like very methodical madness.
I didn't even notice that was a thing. But depending on the item, they will do something different. I was just jumping around and because I was always like very far away from where he was throwing stuff. So if he was going from the right, I was going to the left because with the weapon you don't need to be close. So I was just like going to the other part and doing that like
Right.
that. But it was like it was like you said. I don't think that this one is a from all the designs. I don't think this one is the one that stands out. But it was still like
Right.
a fun a fun first boss. Let's say that way.
Yeah, for sure. I think a change in design of bosses. We had the King of Games who, what did he call it? Oh, his champions. That's right. So yeah, the champions, the chess pieces. So like you can't do any shooting, but it's all parries. I thought that was a cool concept because they kind of had that in the first game with how you got the superpowers, but this time they just made it to get more
Yeah,
money. So I thought that was pretty cool. The pawns weren't nothing special, but like it's a cool little gimmick.
I'm trying to turn on my AC, but don't mind me there.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
I
you have
like
any
it
trouble
too.
with the pawns?
No, no, because like I saw it. Well, I saw the video first, so I kind of didn't have to learn what it was. I think the pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the pawns I died like twice, 3 times. I don't know. It was just a matter of like they jumping in front of me, and I was dying because of that.
Right.
But it
Yeah, if
wasn't
that's
like
all you that's if that's all that happened, then like that's still really low because like
yeah.
Cuphead, it's just like you have to
I
learn
think
the
yeah,
patterns. That's the whole
with the
thing.
pawns you can just dash right through it to hit them. I was jumping and dashing,
Right.
so that
Oh.
was my problem. I actually played that one before the video. That one I played before the video. So I was jumping and then dashing because I felt like I had to hit the head, not the pawn. So when I was jumping, I was getting hit by the other ones dropping down
Mhm.
instead of just like
Right.
going straight to it. So
Yeah. Uh yeah, I concur. The next one was the Knight. And I don't like this boss, I'll be honest.
yeah,
I just don't like how like the game it like if so like, with every other boss, they're always doing something no matter where you're at. This horse, like if you just like camp away, which I understand why like they don't want you camping away cuz then it make it too easy, but like I don't know. I don't like how you have to like just be up in his face for him to do stuff. I don't know. I think it's very I just find it like boring. Like I'm like, come on, just like freaking attack so I can attack you. Like I don't feel like I'm in control. Like while other bosses, I can shoot when I want, I can progress when I want, I can slow down if I want. This one, it's like
yeah.
whatever. Like,
For this one,
yeah,
I was watching a stream, and then the streamer was always very far away. It took like a long time to figure out like he had to be close to the boss, and then and then of course I added the video. So once I got to the boss, I already knew I had to be close to it, so it wasn't a
mm,
problem. And I knew like the three attacks. I knew how to dodge the attacks because you
right,
explained. So I kind of so it was like so I didn't have any problems with it. I would probably had if I played without knowing anything. I'll probably just be testing stuff. But since I knew what to do, I just got to it, and it was kind of like easy in like a couple
right.
of attempts, like I don't know, 3 4 attempts.
Well, even if it's like easy, like the thing is like even if like good game design, which all this is good game design. Like when I'm comparing these and say one's lesser than the others, just for those listening, like we're comparing them to like already great quality bosses. So like just know that's what I'm comparing them to. Because yeah, that Knight's like if I compare it to another game, obviously it's pretty good. But like we go to the Bishop next, for example. Like the Bishop's pretty easy as well, but like I have a blast playing it because it's like you dodge and like then certain candles light up and you have to go like get the candles out and then like you hit the Bishop. It's like you have like a mini objective and then you attack. Like
Yeah.
it's like when I played old arcades, like when I was a kid, like you gotta beat certain things and the guy's like head would be revealed and then you like smack it as much as you can, then it goes back to protection, then like you gotta defeat the arms again, then like the head comes out and like yeah, I just think that's what the Bishop like reminds me of.
Yeah, I had a hard time with it when he started going super fast. I think like 2 times he was like super fast and just went straight through me, and then I couldn't do anything about it. And then the time I won, it was just like he never even got close to me, so it was kind of like it was just like the perfect timing, and then it was okay.
I think they're a little harder when you do the gauntlet, when you have to face them all back to back. Because the Bishop I beat first try, but on the gauntlet, I lost to the Bishop the most. And I swear it
Mm.
was faster. Which is really odd. Or maybe I was just tired. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, maybe it's just like the timing. Like I said, like one of my attempts was super easy because he kind of never got to me. In the other
Mm-hmm.
attempts, he was always going like in the line where I was, and it was super hard to dodge. So and then one of the
Right.
attempts I didn't do anything to dodge. I was just hanging around doing stuff, and I got it.
Right. Then there's the Rook. And this one I think is pretty cool on the surface. I like everything about this boss except the pink blobs you have to shoot back at him. I should have noted this in my video, but like, and I'm pretty sure in the gauntlet it's a little different too. In the gauntlet, he shoots them farther than usual because like you hit the pink things once and they don't reach him, so you have to hit them again. But I feel like the second time you hit them, if you hit it too high, it like goes straight into the ground, so you just wasted it.
Yeah,
Or
that
if
happened to
like
me.
I
Yeah.
feel like if you hit it any other like the first time you hit it, I feel like it chucks pretty far. But then the second time you hit it, I feel like it barely goes any further. And you're like, what the crap is going on
Yeah,
here?
there was one time I hit backwards.
Oh,
Yeah, I just went backwards. Oh my god, I fix it. But it was I really enjoy it. I think that's actually my favorite one as far as design goes.
oh
I think it
yeah.
was just because it's different and you need to kind of like, play around with it, and you still need to like keep the heads going while you're still like dodging, what's coming the floor.
Right, right.
So I think
Oh
that's
yeah, I love all of
fun.
that. I think he's
Yeah.
pretty good too. I think my only problem is like the second hit when you hit the pink guys. Like I feel like it's severely nerfed for whatever reason.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
but yeah. I think the queen might be my favorite. I think the rook might be second though. Yeah, I think the rook or the bishop's definitely second. But I just like how just how different the queen is. Like you actually have to aim the cannons. I think the only thing I don't like about the cannons is it's hard to tell where they'll go, or like the queen's not always standing still. But I just think it's a cool concept on how you have to defeat the queen.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
The queen was
started blasting
actually
me.
the easiest
But
one
yeah,
for me. It was,
really, the
yeah, I beat it
queen
first
was
try. Yeah, I beat it first try. Like I knew what was coming, so maybe that's one of the reasons. But I feel like there wasn't like too much stuff going on. Like, yeah, you had to look at the cannons to aim, right?
hmm
Just wait for it.
right.
But I was just waiting and be patient, and I didn't have like a lot of problem dodging stuff. And I got hit 2 times, I think, because of the hats coming in that we need to parry, and they
Oh
came
right.
in right when I was just like shooting the cannon, and then they came in, and then I didn't have time to just like do another dash and parry them
Mm,
again. So I took like 2 hits because of it. But apart from that, it was kind of like an easy stage for me.
gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, I guess we can go back to the regular bosses. So, did we talk about Moonshine Mob? Oh, Moonshine Mob. Yeah, let's talk about this one. So this one I think is the. I feel like this one kind of. Maybe it's overall not the easiest. I think overall easiest boss is coming up. But okay, the first two phases of the Moonshine Mob I think are pretty dang easy. Like if you just had those two phases, I think they're the easiest.
Yeah.
They are fun though because like when you got the spider recruiting the flies coming in, and there's bombs. He throws the caterpillar. You got the blue coat bugs shooting smoke rings at you. Like I feel like this first phase is a good example on flooding the screen yet being good level design, because like you can do something about everything on screen, like the bombs that are on screen, like you just touch and leave, or you can like the flies aren't like they're not like walls, you can just take them out on one hit. So yeah, I actually think the first phase of this is pretty nifty
Yeah.
from a
I
design
enjoy it
point.
too. I was always going through the bombs to explode them to not have a lot of
Right.
them in the screen. So that was like my. Again, this one I play first without the new weapon, and then after a while I changed to the new weapon.
Mm,
So
gotcha.
yeah,
And yeah, and then there's the ladybug lady. Or not, she's not a ladybug. Someone in my comments said Andrew, you're an idiot. She's a ladybug. It's not. I'm looking at it now. Ladybugs don't have butts bigger than their heads. But anyways, yeah, like so you were talking earlier how like with Miss Chalice you could just dodge through the musical waves.
yeah,
Um, but even like if you're not Chalice, like you just follow the direction it's going. But once again, I think it's a pretty interactive boss. Like that's what good design is. Like you're interactive in it, and you you feel like you're accomplishing something that's like not too easy.
yeah. But
Uh,
that part for
yeah,
me was like the easiest
yeah,
part of every. If you count every boss, I think this part there, that second part was the easiest one. I was just
that's probably true.
like I wasn't in the middle part because I knew like in the video we were a lot in the middle part. I was just like below, and I was just like, I was shooting, and then I'll wait for the laser to turn red, and then I was just like, boop, dodge once or
Right.
twice, and then there you go, and then just keep shooting. Nothing was coming my way. There's like some boxes that comes, but you just like shoot them, and then they just explode,
Yeah.
die. So it was like super easy.
Yeah, I just had the roundabout weapon and just that made it
Yeah,
even faster. But the third phase, I think, is one of the hardest. I
it
hate this
is.
anteater, dude.
It is.
I had a lot of people in my comments say like you could have just parried the tongue. Dude, I don't even want to get near that tongue, dude. Like that that anteater nose or mouth or I don't know. Like I don't know what it is. Is that a nose? I don't know. Not that good at with animal physiology. But yeah, I feel like it really like when you're dodging those fly dust balls, just the tongue, and it doesn't even like you don't even know if it's gonna come out. Like it might go, and then you jump over, it and then it's like psych, and then gets you. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think that's one of the more difficult ones.
yeah. I think for me that was super hard until I got the new weapon. And then it came easy. But with other weapons that you need to like figure out where it's going and you need to shoot, it's super difficult because it's so
Yeah, the
random.
curse relic was so tough with that
Yeah,
one.
it's so random. Like I don't know if there's a way to predict. I don't think there is. Like I said, I
Mm.
tried to parry the tongue, couldn't do. Maybe it's easier with Cuphead because you could just jump and then parry while you're on top of it. If like he puts the tongue like in one of the parts and you were above it, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything about it. It was like super hard until I got a weapon that could just just shoot whatever, and I was just dodging. But before that, I was trying with other weapons, and I was just dying and dying and dying. It was horrible. It was one of the hardest part for me of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I know. So usually I don't like with this game. I think if you're like spoiled, it doesn't really matter too much. But since you had to edit my video, you knew the fake knockout screen
Yeah,
was coming.
yeah, I knew
It,
that. I knew
dude,
that.
so is that like no problem for you?
No problem. Yeah, there was no problem. I
I
knew
feel
it
like
was
that's the
coming.
biggest viral moment of this game on the internet right now is
Yeah,
like their reactions to that.
and I used the special right away when the boss came, so I think I take like a lot of damage.
Oh.
I don't know if they have like two different HP bars or is it the
Mm-hmm.
same one? Because I know like because I know he dies like super fast. He died super fast for me.
Oh, right.
The boss, right? The one controlling the snail. I think it's a snail,
I
right?
think they're separate phases. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are. They are. So yeah, he would have his own health.
Okay, because I used like once like he appears, I use the special, so I think I took a lot of damage, and then he hides, and then once he comes back again, I just got him like super quick. Probably because I used the special before, so maybe that was a
Right.
reason.
Hmm.
Don't know,
Yeah.
but I think that
I,
is.
I I think I have the same thoughts. So that brings us to the next boss. Which one should we? Let's talk about Esther. Esther is she's tough. I think I'm just I don't I wasn't as frustrated with the playing levels in the first ones, even though I think the robot one with the Dr. Wily kind of look alike in the main game is harder than Esther. But I don't know what it is about Esther. Like that first, actually, it's really just the first phase. The first phase of Esther is just, I don't know what it is. It's just, I'm watching it now. I'm like, it doesn't seem too bad. But when you're like, you're in the moment, for some reason, I think it's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, for me,
Experts even like the expert. I'm pretty sure what they did was they just like in regular they time like the flying horse and the eagle coming in more separate. Like sometimes they still match up, but like expert they just cram it all in.
yeah. For me, it wasn't that difficult. I don't know. I used to. I think it was easier than the basic game playing. Uh,
Mm.
I feel like
I
the
did
first
see
part.
some lists where they put her lower on the list, and some people
Yeah,
put it as like the hardest. So I think
yeah,
this is really a playstyle kind of thing.
yeah. Probably. I used to play a lot of the flying shooters when I was a kid. The one that have like the bullet hell, like everywhere in
Uh-huh.
the
The
screen.
shmups or whatever they
Yeah,
call them.
so I'm like used to dodging stuff as a plane, I guess. But for me, like you have like the attack where it was like shooting like a flying oil thing. You just had to stay in the middle, so I was just always looking for that one and staying in the middle.
Right.
And then she did the animation for the cactus, so whenever she was doing the animation, it just went below or up depending on when she started doing the animation to pull up the cactus. And then
But the hard part is there's that stupid eagle and horse in the way sometimes.
and then the horse
I don't know, for
usually,
me, I guess it's hard.
yeah, I was killing the horse or just like really looking at where they're shooting, like the TNTs and whatever. I was paying attention while also paying attention to stay in the middle of her shot when she was shooting the oil thing. So it was never like a. I still got hit a couple times. I still died in the first phase, but I don't think it was like that difficult. I think first that second phase was actually no, the third phase was actually more difficult for me
Oh,
for a while.
really?
And then after a while, I figured out that it was easy. But that one with the sausage coming in out of the cans, I was getting
Uh-huh.
hit all over the place because of that. And then
It's interesting because I think I got lucky with Esther in a way because like one hard thing about these bosses that can be is like generally the first phases are easier, but then the last phase is the hardest, but you have the least amount of practice with the last one because you
yeah,
get there like the least amount of time. Well, for me, it was like once I was past the first phase, like everything felt easier. But yeah, like when she's dropping the money and stuff, I think that's like really nothing new. Like I think that's a good. They did it good. It's just like stuff exploding. You just like move your airplane around, and
yeah.
then you're right. The sausage horse guy. You wait, was it that one or the can one that you said?
The
Was
sausage, yeah, that one, the third one,
the third one? Okay.
yeah, the third one was the one that caught me off guard the most in the beginning, and then because that's one of the stages that I'll play before, but I didn't beat. And then after the video, it was easier because then I saw what was going on. But at first, I was kind of like you can see if it's going up or down for the sausage for
Mm-hmm.
the can, but when you're playing, sometimes you don't notice the simple stuff. That's what
Right, for sure.
Sometimes it take like a long time because you take a long time to get there, and then I don't know, you have 1 HP, you're still trying to figure out what's going on, and then you die, you don't figure out what's going on until you get there, and then sometimes you need like 5 6 times just to get there, just to figure out the attacks and the pattern. So at the first time I wasn't figuring out the pattern, and then after a while I just noticed I could just focus on dodging, and the chalice attacks will hit anyway. So then it was like easy. And the last part was okay for me. The last part, I died once in the last part. The second time I got there, I beat the boss. I was
Yeah,
just
I think
yeah.
yeah, the sausage horse wasn't that bad for me, except on expert. I thought it was a little harder, but the last sausage part I thought was a very interactive piece. Like I felt like it was like perfect as like stuff they are throwing at you, the sausage links connecting together. Like it forced you to not just sit there, but yet there was like real danger in the midst.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that last part. I don't think it was like the hardest, like you said, but it was yeah, it's very fun.
I think the last part is one of the parts where you feel like a true gamer. Because you're dodging stuff.
Right.
It's not that hard, but it looks hard. You know,
True,
and
true. It
then
feels good dodging that
yeah,
stuff and
it
going through
feels
the
good
links. It does make
dodging.
you feel really good.
Yeah. After like every time you just dodge that thing, you got out of it. You're like, yeah, I'm doing it, and it's the end of the boss. So I feel like that's a really good way to end the boss.
Right. Okay, so the next boss is the Howling Aces. Now this one I think is actually not that hard. I've heard some people say it's harder, but I think this is my favorite level of all of them. Just because of what they like. There's just so much different stuff you can do, and it's even got a secret phase. Like I just like how there's that plane at the bottom, and instead of just your typical platform, like you have to move your platform. I think that's really cool, and they do it in a non-annoying way. Like if you're not on a certain part of the screen, like it's your fault. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty sweet. And then they got the puppy throwing the tennis balls out of the plane, and the big dog throwing his bones, or the cat with yarn. And there's multiple ways to get around those too. You can either like parry through them, with the bone tattoos, or you can jump over them. And with the yarn balls, you can jump over them or dodge under them. Like I think that's cool. So you got options.
Yeah.
Then there's
For
the dog
yeah.
part. But go ahead.
Yeah, if you stay in the middle in that part, I think they give you enough time for you to go either left or right. I think they did it perfect. Like I said, like I never felt it was, the game's fault. It was always my fault.
Right.
Because they give enough of an animation to show they're like coming from the right, so you need to go left. So you always have like time to dodge stuff. I really enjoyed that boss. I think I really enjoyed. You go ahead for the second part. I just
Oh no, you're good. No,
yeah
yeah, no, I think that's good that you said that.
yeah.
Yeah, second part I think is the whatever part. I wonder. I didn't know this at the time making the script, but there is that secret phase. I wonder if they had to make it not that hard, or maybe they couldn't make it as clogged up, so that way they could fit in like another
I haven't
secret phase. I
seen
don't know if
the
that makes
secret
sense.
the secret phase. I forgot to Google or
So
watch a YouTube
so pretty
video.
much what it is. So like once you get the puppies, so like they're in their jetpacks, you just make them smoke, but you don't kill them. And then once they turn into gray smoke, then like there's that dog ship, like the metal dog ship
Yeah.
thing. You face like the metal dog ship more so than like the actual lady dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the puppy part really isn't that impressive. But the last part I think is really impressive with the lasers coming out. Like they do one laser, two laser, and then two laser, then like the flat line at the bottom. Like I don't know, there's just something that feels good about doing that pattern.
Yeah.
And I was actually surprised they actually turned the screen sideways. When they turned it sideways, like I don't know, I was just thinking you don't know if like the first time you have to lose because you don't know if the game lets you like you have to act like your controller
Yeah.
sideways, or you know how some games like when you are sideways, like left still makes you like jump
Yeah.
left or whatever. Yeah, it's like that's like a learning thing. Once again, I don't think it was that bad once you got to know it, but I just think it's such a fun level.
It is. It is. And you like you had to turn your head to play that last part. I don't think you can do that without turning your head. I don't know. I tried once. I was like, nope, no way. I had to play like with my head, just bending to the side for me to check the face, and it was a good face. It was
I did
again,
find out
yeah,
later also that when you pause the menu in that level, there's actually a new option where you can alternate where when the level does turn sideways. Let's say you're on let's say the playing let's just say your Cuphead's on the right. So like normally you have to go like you press left to go down, then right to go up. But if you switch the option, if you actually press down, your character will go down and
oh, so
up
like
where they
the
go up.
inverted, like
Right.
yeah,
Kind of, I guess. Like I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Like because like, you're going up, but really your character's walking right. Like yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. They made a custom control just for that level. Then the next one, and I actually think this boss is pretty dang good too. And I think he's well, he's probably not too bad. On Cursed Relic, he was pretty bad, but it's the Ice Wizard dude,
That was
Mortimer, the
yeah,
whatever it's called.
that was the hardest one for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was tell me your weaknesses with this guy.
The second phase. The second phase
The
with
f- the
the
f-
yeah.
the fridge guy. Oh, actually, you know what? I think he second phase was the hardest for me with the Cursed Relic. I think the hardest part of the second phase was when he was like a snowman, and he does do a different animation, but when you're in the moment, you're like freaking out
Yeah.
because you only got one life with the Cursed Relic, and like you don't know if he's gonna hop over or if he's gonna roll. And even if he rolls, you have to make sure you just right because that freaking body is so big.
Yeah, it happened when he does
And
like
the popsicles.
yeah the
Sometimes the
popsicle.
popsicles. My
Yeah,
gosh.
the popsicle were like he going up or like jumping, and then sometimes he just jump and comes back, and like I'm still
Yeah,
in the
sometimes
middle.
he does
Yeah,
one after another.
and I'm still in the middle of like he jumped, and then there's a popsicle, so I'm like dodging both at the same time, and then he comes back. That was a like
Mhm.
a hit for sure. Yeah, that was I think that one there was a couple times where I was like, I don't know if would have could done better here. Like I could have killed the popsicles, but at the same time you're dodging stuff, you're looking everywhere.
Right.
So I feel like that was from all the stages. I think that second part is the hardest part for me
Mm.
of the entire game. The rest of the ball, like the first part, is kind of easy. The first part, like uh, I don't think I got hit a lot. I think it was like you know, if I got hit, it was just like me doing a stupid mistake. It was super easy to dodge and kill everything in the first part. Then the second part was like a lot of stuff,
Right.
and that was like there's parts where there's the kind of like a sword coming from the ground. I don't know whatever that
Right.
was, and that part too. Sometimes I was getting hit because I was trying to kill the popsicles. So pretty much the popsicles were the ones drawing the attention, and the coming like there being the screen while other things were happening. That was like a huge problem for me.
Right. Yeah, for Curse Relic, I do remember me saying that took me the longest, even more than the final boss. The first part's kind of whatever. Yeah, it's fine. The last phase, I think the hardest part for me on the last phase was what is that? Is it his eyeball
Yeah, I think it's
when he like
hard.
shoots the
Yeah,
circle thing? And I don't know the exact pattern to it, but like when it shoots the beam on the top and the bottom, like that would get me a few times.
yeah, for me too.
Like pretty much the goal was like jump over right after the beam happened. Like,
Yeah, I thought it
yeah,
was more like I was more trying to get lucky than figuring out the pattern in that part. It was
right,
just like it was just like praying. It was like, okay. I'll guess I'll try now. I'll jump.
right,
I hope it doesn't kill me, and that was how I won. So I died the most, and I don't think the last part was difficult, but I died the most in the last part because I was getting hit in the hitting a lot in the second part.
right. So
So
you had less life,
yeah,
right?
so I
Makes
got to the end a
sense.
lot of times with just 1 HP, and then I will get hit by
Hmm.
the
That makes
eye.
sense. So in our theoretical walkthrough of this game, we are now at the final boss. And I did think at first when I saw the Salt Baker guy, I was like, "Eh, he's probably a bad guy." But then like I totally didn't think about it. I was just like joking with myself. And then yeah, he totally was. Uh, he's a pretty good final boss though. And I do think similar to what was it the Esther level when I there is you can definitely see like a difference like normal mode like the obstacles come out more spaced out, but on expert, dude, the screen is just flooded. Um, but this boss is if you really want a jump in difficulty from this boss, at least only the first phase. The crack shot makes this first phase so much more bearable
Yeah,
because he's always moving in the back, so you don't have to worry about your position. But when you actually and it's not like it's still not like the hard. I wouldn't say he's like the hardest boss. He's pretty hard though without the crack shot. But it's yeah, I don't know. I like it though. The you learn pretty quickly how the patterns work with each of the ingredients that he throws at you. Yeah, you just got to go to town and
yeah,
dodge them or parry the sugar cubes.
yeah. Well, it was like because of the weapon, it was way easier as a final boss than it was in the base game, right? Like for the base
Right.
game, I stay a long time. Actually, I stay more in the King Dies than I did in the final boss, but I stay a long time. And for this one, it was kind of easy. Like, well, I'm not gonna say easy because people will get mad at me, but it was an okay. I wasn't. there wasn't anything super crazy that I had to figure out. It was more dodging. I think this one, I think that's
It is
because,
a very dodging level,
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's the stages I do well, right? Where I'm just like dodging stuff without having to look for stuff too much. Like, there's a pattern different from what I was saying. For example, from the ice stage where you have the popsicles coming in, and that breaks the pattern. You don't have like exactly a pattern because that one is flying in any direction for you. So you kind of like
Mhm.
it's throw off. And I think the last stage, everything has a pattern, right? As soon as
Yeah.
you see the screen, you know where everything is going. So you can kind of dodge because you know where they're going. So for me, in those kind of stages, like I have a easier time.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say this guy's, like, first phase is the most difficult, but the reason I died at later stages was because I had less health, kinda what
Yeah,
you were saying with the last boss. Because yeah, the second one, like, you got the fireball dude jumping, the leaves falling, the salt shaker guys, and whatever they sneeze at you. But then expert mode just clouds it up. Then you got like the salt jumpers at the end, which is actually a pretty short phase. I think if they wanted to make
yeah,
it harder, they would have made that longer.
yeah. That's pretty
Uh,
easy. Like I never took a hit.
yeah,
No, I don't think I did. No, no, I don't think I
I
took
would
a
take a
hit.
hit when they first came in because I feel like no matter where I ran, they like the game would register like right before they fell where to drop
Mm,
them. But the heart I felt was pretty easy.
yeah, and you
Um,
had like you
yeah,
had a glitchy first
yeah,
time with it, right? Because you can parry, and I
yeah.
think you kill it faster if you parry. So I died like
Oh
twice
yeah, you
because I
could
was
parry
messing
it. I
up.
never even thought
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. I died like twice because I was messing up. I was dashing to the wrong part, or like I was dashing to parry, and then I was just like falling because I was dashing to a part where there was no uh, floor coming up or
Hmm.
going down. They're coming down, yeah. And so like, but it was my mistake. At the end, I don't think it was a super hard boss. I think I was faster to kill it than the other bosses. Maybe because I was
Interesting.
used to, yeah, maybe because I was used to, because you get used to the game, right? So like you get better as you play more. So once I got to the final boss, it was easier. I was already like into the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I think when yeah, it's tough like going back to them, but on expert I do think he is one of the tougher ones. At
Yeah,
least that first phase of all bosses throughout, even including the
yeah.
main
I
game.
just play the normal, so I guess we have like kind of different
Oh, that's
view
true.
because I just play on
Mhm.
normal. So I
Yeah. That's a good
imagine,
point.
yeah. Maybe next week, if I play on expert, maybe next week we're talking about other topics. I could just yell for 1 minute about how I hate
There
every
you go.
boss and change all my opinions, but so far it's just
Have you done the cursed relic stuff?
no, I haven't done that too. I
Oh
still
man,
need to do that.
that's the
Yeah,
hardest stuff, I think. I think that's harder than expert for sure. Cuz
I
you have to
have.
beat them on regular
Yeah,
with them.
I got everything on A because I actually
Oh, nice.
I think I was missing one boss because like once you beat, right, you're kind of like I was always beating doing like A something because I
Mhm.
was doing like super well. Everything clicked, so I beat it A something. And so I think I was missing one boss. I don't remember. I think it was the mob, and then I did the mob on A, and I got the achievement. I still have to do that in the base game, and so I maybe will come back to the base game and use her to end the new weapon to
Mhm.
to play it because I think it's maybe it can be easier in some stages that were hard. So who knows? I got a lot of
Gotcha.
achievements in the base game, but that one
Yeah.
that's the one that I just gave up to. And I think that's
So one
that's
last boss to talk about. Wait, did you do the gravestone
yeah, I
boss?
did, yeah.
Okay, so you at least have the cursed relic. Yeah, so that's the last one. I like this one design wise a lot too. The only thing I don't know why they do this, but to my knowledge, once you beat it, you can't replay it unless you open a
Oh,
new file. I think that's kind of dumb. So like I feel like I had my struggles with it, and then like, usually the first time you beat a boss, it's not like your best attempt, obviously. So I don't know how to judge this. Like I've heard some people say it's actually kind of easy after a few tries, but like I don't know that because I literally literally did a few tries and I've never played it again. But I love the concept where you turn back and forth and the other person's weapons or attacks become harmless, and then
Yeah.
because like it's your fault when something like that happens, but sometimes your finger just says, "Oh my gosh, something coming," so your mind just flicks the stick, and then that weapon that attack fireball that wasn't harmful, which you could not even see except for a dotted outline, all of a sudden hurts you.
Yeah.
So I really like that idea behind all this.
Yeah. For me, it was I died a couple of times because it was kind of like a timing thing. Because when the that wall of fire is coming through the screen, and then you had to turn around.
Mhm.
There was a couple times where like I had to turn around right when another thing was coming, so they
Right,
meet
right,
together, and I felt like there was nothing I could have done. I could have like I should have been in a better place in the screen before they appear, but I was dodging something else. They appeared, and I like had anything else to do. So it was just a matter of time to like for the boss to click, right? For like
right,
everything
right,
to come together. So it wasn't like I didn't have to learn everything, anything. I didn't have to get better at the stage. So it was a different kind of stage. Like I feel like I beat the stage at the same level as I did my first attempt. It was just a matter of getting the time perfect and not getting like hit by something out of place. But it was
right.
like it was fun. I feel like it would be like
Yeah.
super hard if it was like a part of a boss. I feel like if that was a part of a
Oh
boss,
yeah.
I feel like that would be way harder, way harder. But since you just have that and you just keep like doing and doing, you can just you you learn and figure out kind of fast.
Right. Yeah, I know they've patched some stuff in the past, and I hope they patch some way where you can play them again. Because one of my favorite things about Cuphead is even though like it's kind of weird, like in order to get good at Cuphead, you just have to memorize patterns pretty much and apply your finger skills to them. But yeah, it's so replayable because like I think that's why the difficulty works in Cuphead is because like you play Cuphead, then you don't play for 3 months, and like you've instantly lost like your peak skill.
Yeah.
So it's fun to overcome those bosses again. But I don't want to make a new file just to play that boss again. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of like that of difficulty, I was talking to a friend because he went to watch your video and he says like, "Oh, I like watching videos of Cuphead, but I don't want to play it because I don't think I have the patience of the skill." He said the skill. I don't think I have the skill, and I said
Uh huh.
like, in the end, it's a lot of easy things, but you need to
Mm-hmm.
do them all together, right? I don't think there's like,
Right.
yeah, okay, there's one or two parts where it's like, okay, this is really hard, but honestly, most of the parts are like easy jumps. They're like easy stuff, easy patterns, but you mess up, right? You so that's why I think the game is so good because I don't think the game is like throwing stupid things at me. I think the game is giving like me easy things for me to learn that I need to learn over time, and then once you learn and you play it again, it feels like easy, right? Like yeah, the boss, like for example, every time you enter a new boss, the first phase is hard, but you play so much, then it becomes like supernatural. So there's a dodge thing, like so that's what I love about the game.
Right. No, I have to agree with everything you just said. I think I think the only people that really would be affected by this are those that are unfortunately handicapped or got really old and lost their
Yeah,
reaction time.
yeah,
But
that's true. Yeah,
no, but that's speaking to such a small minority. Not saying I don't care about them, but like you're right. Like it's hard, but like I'd say this game is the definition of like doable hard.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, at least
it's
on regular
different.
mode.
Yeah, it's different if you like get someone that doesn't play video games a lot and then
Right.
give Cuphead. Then yeah, that's gonna be like super impossible.
Right.
But if we're giving to like players that I don't know grew up with Super Mario World, who play platformers a lot, who are used to this type of games, I think it's a it's a
Yeah.
game that you
I
can
think
you can
anyone
beat.
can.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, I think anyone can do it as long as they know where all the buttons are on a controller good enough.
yeah,
I know that sounds weird, probably talking to our audience who probably knows that, but like you're right. Yeah, if you just give it to someone and they don't like instantly know where the R button is, as simple as that is to us, to a lot of people, like, yeah, it's not a pickup game.
yeah,
But
for sure.
but yeah. Well, cool. I think that covers it for all of the DLC. Anything else you wanted to bring up or talk about that we hadn't? I think we got pretty much the meat and bones of it.
Yeah, I think we got everything about it. I don't know. The art style still amazing.
Oh
I'm
yeah, we haven't even talked about the art style. You're right;
yeah,
it's so amazing.
I'm
They
kind
still
of
hand draw everything.
yeah.
That's
I'm kind of sad
insane.
that we're not gonna probably get a Cuphead 2. I don't know if
Yeah,
they're
they said
gonna.
it. They said it's the end.
Yeah.
But
So
developers lie all the time. But
yeah,
I think they probably, if you hand draw for years, literally years, the same thing, you might want to do something new.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true. That's true. But I would enjoy, of course, Cuphead is amazing because of the art style. But I think I would enjoy another game from them without the art
Right.
style, right? Because that's
Yeah.
pretty much what I think what it's hard for them is hand drawing everything. But they have
Yeah.
the perfect,
They
game
do say that's the
design.
longest part.
So yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I think they could do like the game design without the art style. Maybe people will complain and stuff like that, but if that's the price we have to pay for a Cuphead 2, I'll pay the price. I'll enjoy the game with art style more easy to do, where they don't have to spend years doing it.
Yeah. I'm just excited to know what their next project is because they said they have it in mind, but probably a few years down the road
Yeah,
until we see it. So. All right. Well, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, let us know what you thought of Cuphead if you wanna. If you want to support in a free way, like, subscribe to the video, and you all have a good one. Thanks.